Oh, you child.
Are you sure you're not still high?
No, I'm perfectly fine.
Was there something in the gummy bears?
I grew up here, but,
Definitely something in the gummy bears.
Well, somebody said my
I was
outfit here is
very
the
careful.
right kind of distracting, so I thought I'd add a
true,
little
I
bit
did.
of personality to it.
I stand by my statement. I have no regrets about it. Everybody ready?
It's also slow enough I'm able to observe shit.
Yeah, I guess.
Change of plans. We're taking Shadow. T, you're gonna have to go with the boys, only because I don't trust them to get there otherwise.
No,
Sound good?
I live there.
Yeah,
In other words, I'm to drive.
Sure, why not?
I know where we're going.
Sweet.
I know that place like the back of my hand.
The boss has used it as a pickup location for friends before.
Hi, 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 hi. Hi, hi, hi.
Ready to go?
T, get your boys. Come on, Shadow. Come here, boy. Come on, boy.
Right, you two are going in the silver vehicle.
Come on, good boy. No, you're with us.
Oh, alright.
Good
I
boy,
opened the
Shadow.
door for someone, or not.
Don't worry, I opened the door for someone. Scream.
I'm just such a nice guy.
Okay, you can come out, we're gone. So, long story short, we're going to have a conversation with a very, very nice detective.
Okay.
You're going to explain all of the gangs that you can guarantee are the ones attacking us to him.
Okay.
Then once you've done that, you're going to be a good boy. Go stand at the bar with T.
That's fair. Alright.
Don't go near a firearm. Don't even sniff one.
That's completely fine.
I'm doing alright, how are you doing? It was a stop line, it was more of a suggestion. I know we... Ripper, I know we had the conversation. Did we ever work out if it was McTavish or McTavish? I think it's the second one, right? He's McTavish, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nothing more embarrassing than calling somebody their wrong name. Hey look, they got up.
It's not hard to join the city.
Yeah, but did she make a U-turn? Or what? How do you think she got up?
We were at a red light.
Well, not at the... Good God.
If you ask a stupid question, expect a stupid answer.
Spoke me to maintain an ill ability to park when I couldn't decide which spot I wanted.
Tell them where you want them.
I will. Don't you worry. You boys might actually be better to be stationed just outside in the inlet.
Good news, boss.
Watch out for Bindini!
You two, come on. One of you on the left, one of you on the right.
Okay.
Try not to hold the firearm in the aggressive manner. Exactly, more casual, more relaxed. You are securing a premises, not gatting anybody you see. If a cop has an overall problem with it, you come inside. We own the bar, they want to see the paperwork, well, they might not come back out.
Gotcha.
If you
Fucking
stand behind it
bin.
and walk into it, you will end up. I told you to watch out for fucking Bindini!
We've been over this.
Slug.
What?
Slug.
Hold on.
Your fridge says slug.
I know, because it's green.
Is it green?
A very pale mint green.
It's min.
Is mint a shade of blue or green?
If shots start to pop off, use your bodies. Yeah?
Okay.
Will do.
Boys. You keep this safe.
Yeah,
Mind
I'll
the
go
fire.
attack that. You know how long he's gonna be?
Just gonna find out now.
Hey, do you want us to do a pat down on them, or are they allowed to come in armed?
You've had on a cop, you're getting shot, man.
Does the cop know we're going to have people with guns outside the door?
No, but one would like to think he'd assume.
Yeah, that's what... Yeah.
He's on his way. Shadow,
Hello.
you'll be sitting next to Miss Ripper.
Rightio.
You'll be sitting on her left side by the couch.
Okay.
But I just wanted you to get in there early, because otherwise you're going to struggle.
I'm very mindful of this fire.
Don't worry, you can literally lick it and throw it behind you. You'll be fine. And I'm sure T has a fire extinguisher. Don't smoke in here. Lets off a nasty smell. I mean, so does Shadow, but that's not quite the point. Be super polite to him. Behave.
Will do.
Be good boys.
Yep.
Slug. We aren't meeting a gang, we're meeting the LSPD.
It's a lot better than what I've been called before.
None of the other gangs are around to meet. The Omirs are busy and we don't really have a reason to talk to them. You guys are the good guys. I mean, you're more than welcome to come join us after, sir. I have no problem with that.
You want one of us to talk him in? Or you
Law
want him to find
enforcement's
his own
pulling
way?
up now.
I'll walk him in.
Yeah, we'll go introduce ourselves. Do it in the nicer realm, shall we? Oh, he's not the bloody fence over. What a dickhead.
I am waiting for one of my officers to get down here.
Okay.
He's not the one we're expecting.
I don't care who we're expecting.
No, but
I've
I
got
do.
a unmarked cruiser just near the gas station.
That
Yeah, that's
is
fine.
who we're looking for. I maybe wouldn't. Oh, bloody hell, who? You're not the fence over.
I'll get hit by a car, that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't want to stand on the fence and get flung around. Choo. Sneezed. And as a supervisor?
And it doesn't change anything.
No, just somehow means it's a bit more important. But this is the man that is the most important. Do you reckon we're matching? I really hope we're twinning.
Let's get the job done first.
I'm trying to have a little bit of fun in these situations. This isn't my ideal situation at all. Oh no, in fact, it's the opposite.
You want to get this done or not?
We need to get it done. For our sake. Doesn't mean I want to get it done. There are two very, very big differences in that.
Hello.
Detective?
Hi. So, as you know, I'm Investigator John McTavish. Here is Staff Sergeant Madsec. So, you wanted to speak?
I think it's best we head inside.
Yeah, obviously.
That's understandable.
Stop smoking.
I am not fat. I am only a little bit oversized. I got a little beer belly, okay? Don't call me fat.
Yeah, it's the bin. Feel free to have a seat.
Okay. Do you mind if I just stand?
No, not at all.
Alright.
You can stand, you can sit, you can do as you please.
Alright.
The wonderful lady behind the bar will get you a drink if you so desire.
Can't drink on duty. I wish I could.
I mean, there's non-alcoholic too. Not everything in this world has to be alcohol. It would
I
help,
get
but
you.
well.
So, what can I do for you?
Well, you on multiple occasions have shown a willingness and a want to actually help us, and well, we're just trying to do our best, and we're being targeted by certain people. This is Shadow. He has the nickname of Chief of Intelligence because he's smart and
That's a new one.
disgustingly good at his job.
Mm.
But he can give you a little bit of a rundown of all of our problems, and then obviously we've got some further things we'd like to discuss.
Okay.
Okay, so
Howdy.
from what I've been able to find out, I think the long and short of it is that nobody just really seems to like us. We don't provoke people, obviously. We don't do any of that jazz. I can confirm that there are 2 gangs specifically who seem to be out against us. There's a 3rd one, but I can't confirm anything with that really. So obviously it's the Grove Street Kings and the Forum Drive families. The ones in green and purple. They are quite intent on. I think they're trying to get a reaction out of us. There's been multiple times now where I think I've been shot at by a couple of them. I think a lot of us have been shot at by these people, just unprovoked, almost like a drive-by, you could say. There's a 3rd one up in the county. I think they call themselves the Violent Swords. This is the one I can't confirm because it only happened yesterday and I haven't had the chance to get through it all. Yeah, those 3 seem to be the ones giving us major issues. Just once again, completely unprovoked on our end. So
Interesting.
Dude, we do car meets, we repair cars, we look at cars. We aren't the gang running and shooting them up kind of gangs of the past. That's not us, you know? We're meeting in an establishment that we co-own to support the local community. We're looking at fundraising events to help everybody. We are trying our hardest to change what people perceive it as a gang as being a bad thing into something good that we believe it is and believe it can be.
Mm-hmm.
But instead we are being targeted and shot at for no reason. And one of our members reported having a conversation with McTavish here about the number of LSPD units and how that wasn't necessarily helping. And we are so beyond grateful that the number of units has dropped down to kind of 1 to 2 instead of the 5 or 6. It is definitely helping us. The main reason we needed to have this meeting, we needed to have it so far away, is because they already thought we were working with the cops or working with somebody else. That's why we think we're being targeted all the time. We are by far the largest, what you guys would still classify as a gang, and we just classify as a group of friends hanging out.
May I add something here?
Yeah,
If I
sure.
may. So, in regards to reducing patrol numbers, now, necessarily, right, we are in charge of allocating units, and we have to allocate wherever we deem necessary based off of violence. Now, whether that be, one or the other, I can't really control that, because I'm told to do that. However, what I have been attempting to work on, and I'm not sure if it has shown, but I've heard from, of course, and I've seen from people that some of our officers may have been mistreating you individuals before in the past in your neighborhood, which I just think is appalling now. Whether you can confirm or deny this, I do not know, but I would love to hear your input on that.
we can definitely confirm it. T, can you hear me?
I can.
Come over. This is the wonderful Tijuana. She has been there
Hi.
on almost every single occasion that we have been harassed, profiled, or otherwise belittled by certain police officers. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to tell you about it.
Love to
It's
hear
more of a
that.
case of we get pulled over a lot for just driving in the cars.
Do they have any probable cause, anything that you may have done? Now, whatever you say here, I will not, arrest you or anything or any of the shape or form, right? Just don't say anything that I will have to.
From what we hear, it's a lot of people doing little things and having shit real trumped up.
So, could you give me an example of little things? Like, don't give me anything big that I actually have to, work
We haven't
on,
done anything big. I mean, every firearm that
Okay.
anybody's carrying in here
Of
is
course.
legal. We're not, we are moving
I'm not
away from
insinuating
that.
you did. I'm
No,
just,
and
I'm just
I'm
stating
just making
that
sure
just
that
don't.
we're all on the same page.
Of
We're
course,
not going
of
to
course. I'm
incriminate
not-
ourselves because there's nothing to
Of
incriminate
course,
on.
yeah. No, I don't. That's what I don't want you guys to do, because I don't want to, of course,
No,
add
you
any
know.
unnecessary fuel to the fire. Because look, I'm just gonna say this flat out, right? I can't change what you guys do, right? But I can try to help you guys and help the community within, of course,
The realm
your,
of your
of course, South Central LS and everything, right? Try to make it a better place. Try to make it a more, accessible place, somewhere that's a little bit more trusting.
Yeah, no, that's literally what we're looking for. That is our home. At the end of the day, that is our home, and we don't feel safe in our home anymore. We don't feel safe anywhere. You can see, we've put manpower that can pack a punch at the door here, and we're nowhere
I see.
near. But systematically, everywhere we go, we have been shot. Whether it's simply going to gas up in Polito and they get attacked, or
For no
whether we're in
reason.
our literally they pulled over to get gas. They went clothes shopping.
And you just get shot at for,
Yep.
I suppose, wearing yellow or repping your guys' colors.
And
Is that it?
seemingly that's the only reason. But I mean, it was the gang up in Polito that we've never heard of, nor have we ever had any interactions with. So therefore, we literally got shot for being at a gas station. This wasn't some big rival gang plot. This was just 3 people got out of the cars to gas up their cars, and before they know it, 3 of ours were rolling in an ambulance down to Great Ocean.
I can't speak on behalf of anything up in Polito because that's outside of my jurisdiction. I don't know why they would do such a thing, right? That I can't add anything to, but I understand, like, overall what you mean, that you're just getting harassed randomly. Is that correct? For doing nothing.
But like, it's bad enough getting harassed by gangbangers. But when you come back to your own territory and you get harassed by a similar group of LSPD officers, and it really isn't you guys. We've had great interactions with McTavish and now you. We had a really good conversation with Scarlotti, the commander. He came down after we had a problem. We make note of all of these issues because at the end of the day,
of course,
we want them to be resolved. But, one of our members a few weeks back now had an argument with an Officer King about something, and then the following day they were smacked over the head with a reckless driving charge when all the officer could really prove was that they were speeding, but they still got charged with the reckless driving. They were a minor.
Are you planning on fighting in court?
To be fair, he didn't really give a shit.
Okay.
It was just first time offense, just kind of steamrolled him. He's a good kid. He really loves his cars. But at least from our perspective, it felt very revengeful. You have an argument the day prior. I think it was King, Entman, and Pierce, right?
Okay.
Names ring a bell?
You'll have to give me the name of your of the person that was charged with this, because they were charged, correct? I may be able to look, but I need something to go off of in order to speak to those individuals to try to fix that issue.
But
I can get in contact and sort that out for you.
The thing that gets us the most is, again, literally, what was it, a day or 2 prior? That there was a fight outside of one of our hang-arounds down in Jamestown, where the officer was sat there and we were all trying to have a conversation with him, and he suddenly got really aggressive, accused us all surrounding his vehicle when we were all stood on the sidewalk and somebody had gone up to him. There's been we've had a real problem with people not paying parking meters and stuff. It sounds minor, but when it happens constantly and constantly and constantly, that's money being taken out of the area. And this cop was sat there for 10 minutes, and we were like, are you gonna, if you're gonna stay, can you at least put like $1 in it? It goes back to the community at the end of the day. And they were like, oh no, I'm just leaving. I haven't been here for a minute. And we were like, we've watched you. And then all of a sudden, the report was 2 more patrol cars came beating round the corner. This was our first interaction with the officer Pierce jumped out of his car, pistol already unholstered, started screaming at everybody to get away,
Uh-oh.
get away, get away, shouting at us all. And you just think, you know, I know you have to look at everything from the perspective of, you know, at any minute somebody could kill you, but in that
But
same
that's
regard,
that's a little far. That's
we
a
were
little
all,
far.
you know, there was a dude stood by his window saying, you know, if you're not going to pay, you know, there are plenty of other parking spaces, you know. You know, this was
So-
kind of 2 days after we felt a bit
okay.
followed. You know, people had been parked across from us. We get it. You know, you guys are policing in high-profile areas, but you don't have to be in our face. You know,
There's no problem with you guys doing your jobs. It's not the problem is when that there are 3 or 4 of you within one
thanks, I
block
couldn't do it.
just because we're there. We get it.
No,
You
I
guys have a
understand.
job to do, and you have to do. And we're not saying don't do your job, but we're saying
We're-
don't
we're
put 4
saying
police
quite the
cars in one
opposite.
area just because we exist.
No, I understand.
You
I
know-
understand, and it shouldn't be the way it is because
It's definitely changed, and like I said, we appreciate that. But it was kind of 3 consecutive days that they had. They felt like they were being stalked by the same car, which we later found out was King. Then they have an argument with, I think they said it was Entman,
hmm
and this was the first time. Then Pierce and King were the 2 units that showed up real quick and kind of was like, you know, go away, you know, stop surrounding him, stop surrounding, you know, all of that shit,
course.
really blowing it out of proportion. And then the next day, one of our own, yes, admittedly, did some speeding, but got 2 red light violations that they swear weren't red, and supposedly changed lane once and got the full reckless driving charge. You know, I'm all for you guys charging people when they do stupid shit. Trust me, he's a bit of an idiot.
hmm
But, you know, when you look at the bigger picture of 3 days of constantly seeing this officer and this kid having 3 bad interactions with this dude, and then suddenly he's committed every offence under the sun to get reckless driving, hippity hoppity, he's off to jail. You know, there is a big conversation about the us versus them mentality, but we encourage the opposite. You know, and I know you guys try to, but we have, within the group, we have, you know, fire department and law enforcement are our friends. If there's a problem, tell us and we'll fix it. You know, we want to talk and we want to engage and we want to communicate, because at the end of the day, it's better for all of us. You know, our boss is a wonderful lady named Penelope. She has the biggest heart you'll ever meet. You know, she donates, you know, almost a monthly wage to the local community. She runs the local food bank. She does all of that. She's doing a fundraiser for the fallen heroes at some point. You know, she is trying. We're trying to better the community, but obviously then we're being targeted by bad guys, and then we're being targeted by the people that are supposed to protect us, and it ends up in this entire, we are fighting a war on 3 fronts, and all we want to do is help people,
I understand.
build cars, and have fun.
So instead of protecting and serving you, officers are instead labeling you as potential suspects / criminals, and going to lengths outside of what is permissible as an officer in treating you.
Yeah, I mean, literally, the second they see someone in one of our
In
gang
yellow.
colours, they are either following us, pulling us
Of course.
over, or just being a general nuisance.
I have, in recent times, I will say, I have been telling them that, because I've noticed it myself, with the increased numbers of reports, tickets, and whatnot that I have seen, and I have told them, because I've even heard from people, that, you know, some of the officers under my command are not treating people around them with compassion and with the dignity and respect that they deserve, and are essentially profiling them based off of a color. Even if, right, they know you're Vagos, they should not be treating you any differently than the next person in, let's say, Vinewood suburbs, right? There's no
They are-
difference there. You two are equally the same in the eyes of the, you know, the police department in terms of the amount of dignity and respect that you deserve. And to me, I see it as unacceptable with how they're treating you. And I will say this, I'm on the attack. to try to squash that as much as possible.
We appreciate it, and I think we get that the old Vargos are a lot more aggressive, but just because we wear a color, that doesn't make us bad. Like, yes, I get that there are certain connotations that were with those, but we are trying our best to get rid of those, and we have not done anything to you guys. We had one dickhead that did something, but he was dealt with. We're not looking to cause you or other people trouble. We're just trying to survive and help others.
Of course. Let me think.
Wait, so yeah, so hang on.
Yeah, you go ahead.
I'm gonna run in here. So, I'm gonna be honest. There's a couple of reasons why this whole thing started in the first place. So when you guys started kind of resurfacing and becoming a lot more aware to us, what was that, like last December? Our officers are they're paranoid when it comes to gangs, and hear me out in this, right? I know, like, you're not that type of
No, we get it.
group.
A gang has a connotation to it.
Yeah. So they get paranoid, even just in the south side area. It's like it's a scary place to be sometimes. We've had loads of instances where officers have been injured, even probably killed because of gang activity. We've had instances, I think you've heard, with the Group 6 security being targeted by gangs. So our officers are paranoid about that, and they want to make sure it doesn't happen to them or anyone else. That's why this started. There was also an incident. Now, I'm not accusing you guys. Obviously, that's not what I'm here to do. But there was an incident where there was a series of break-ins across the city, where there were people on the scene wearing the color yellow, and we tracked suspect descriptions that went back to your neighborhood, and that's why there was this whole activity from law enforcement came out of nowhere. But obviously, we're going to charge you guys or anything. We're not going to accuse you guys of anything because we have no evidence. Okay, that's not what we're going to do.
No, and we totally get where you're coming from. And that dude supposedly was robbing, because I think you guys did end up charging him, and he was dealt with. He is no longer an associate. He is no longer anybody. We push them away. We distance ourselves. We are trying to be better. We are trying to do better, because at the end of the day, you're right. It's everybody it affects. If we don't feel safe, you guys don't feel safe. We're trying to bridge the gap and humanize everybody.
It's a dual pronged effort here as well. Like,
yeah,
that also has to be realized, that we need to put in effort and you need to put in effort. Like, if one of us does not, and as we have seen, right, it doesn't lead to anywhere, right? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, both of us gotta. And I'm not saying you guys haven't. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, just stating a fact, right?
As we said before, we don't have a problem with you guys doing your job, and we get that you guys are going to be cautious, and rightfully so. You guys don't want to get shot, and we don't want to get shot. But there is a line between caution and just actively seeking out conflict with us. Like, we don't, as we said before, we have zero problem with you guys doing your job. If one of you's around the area, then one of you's around the area. That is fine. You're doing your job. But when there are 3 or 4 of you within about 2 blocks of us, that's a bit of a problem, and it's going to raise some eyebrows.
I mean, what, Abs, you know all about the fundraiser that's being spoken about, right? You can tell them what we're trying to do to bridge the gap.
There's a plan in the works to host a fundraising event. We're not quite sure what we're going to do that, whether it's going to be a barbecue or what, but it's in an attempt to raise some money for the fallen heroes. We're trying to show that we are friendly and we are willing to help law enforcement and people that are kind of related to law enforcement, because we want to work with you guys. We don't want to be causing you problems, and you guys don't want to be causing us problems unless we've done something to deserve it, which, as far as I'm aware, we haven't. So we want to work with you guys, and we think this might be a good way to do it.
We want to humanize everybody. Take the people out of the uniforms and meet them as people, and take the gang members with whatever connotations they may have and introduce you to the people. it's changing the us versus them mentality to just us, all of us, fighting to survive, doing our best wherever we can. Because at the end of the day, you know, you guys having to be in our area because there are problems is a major use of your resources that isn't necessarily great. You know, there are definite gang problems, from the family to the GSK to, I've heard the Lost MC have been getting themselves into a bit of a pickle recently, but you know, you're always going to have other places that need resources and attention. You know, there's a mental health crisis in the country at the moment that could use some resources, and instead they're tied up in a clusterfuck in Jamestown because, for whatever reason or another, there is fights going on. And, you know, you guys show up in numbers when you feel threatened. And we get that. We show up in numbers when we feel threatened. It's how you counter the threat. But, you know, when you're having a conversation with a cop and the next minute, you know, 2 more patrol units have rolled up because supposedly we're surrounding them and threatening them. Whenever, you know, when there's like 5 people on the pathway just stood having a conversation and somebody talking to him. You know, luckily the commander came down and he apologized and, you know, he was really nice about it. You know, we get that you guys don't necessarily have to pay to park. We get that. But also, there's the understanding of paying, you know, even if it's just the $1 for the hour, that's $1 injected in to the local community. You know, we're on a big push at the moment to take people that would otherwise be destitute and give them a life purpose. Because if people don't have a purpose, or they don't have a source of income, they turn to crime. It's, you know, it's why we do the food bank. It's why we do the soup kitchen. You know, we take people that would otherwise rob, steal, hurt to get these basic necessities and give them to them to ensure that they aren't going around and doing these things.
McTabb, if I may, I have a proposal for you and for, of course, these fine gentlemen and gentlewomen. So, right, you guys are issuing, of course, very, very adequate and fair complaints, right? So I have an idea, right? You have a point of contact with McTavish, correct?
Yeah, I have his phone number.
Is this correct? All right, great. He's with investigations and the special enforcement team. If you guys have any troubles with any other gangs that are, of course, within our jurisdiction of the city, or any officers, right? I recommend sending this stuff to McTavish, and then he will forward it either to me or wherever, however he can, like, deal with the situation. Would that be good for you, McTavish?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's what I'm the face of the public. You know, I'm the information head. You know, that's what I meant to do. That's what I'm happy to do with.
That's honest, right? Because I want you guys to feel comfortable coming to us and to anybody, right, within the department and issuing your, of course, complaints or anything else, right? I want you guys to feel comfortable. I want you guys to trust us, right? And of course, this trust has been shaken, and I'm willing to do whatever is possible within my reach to build this back up, right? Because ultimately, I do agree with you. The more someone feels unsafe and the worse a community is, the worse crime and other horrible things are going to happen. It's just going to exponentially get worse. So that's, as of right now, in my eyes, like, a good idea. Of course, I'm going to speak with my officers. Of course, I'm going to try with my best as a supervisor, as their direct supervisor, to do what I can. And if they don't follow it, of course, we have an official, of course, complaint form posted on our website. Or you can go straight to McTavish and we can get this, it just go quicker that way, you know?
Yeah, we get you.
It'd be better as well if you guys also recorded or got something, you know, visual, you know?
Yeah, I think staff's expecting, especially with, we're not going round expecting this shit, you know? We don't tend to catch, the most we really have on us is our phones. and by the time you get to recording that, it's already kind of half done.
You know, you
Of
guys wear
course.
body cams, which means you get like the 30-second minute grace period. Sure, there's no audio, but you know,
Hmm.
we don't have that.
I
And
understand.
in the nicest way possible, a lot of us are strapped and strapped legally. If somebody's shooting at us, you can bet your bottom dollar that ain't nobody pulling their phone out to fucking record it. We're pulling something out, but it ain't
No,
a phone.
no, I don't mean
Like-
I don't mean in instances. I don't mean in instances where you're getting shot at. That I
No,
don't
we
mean
get
that at
you.
all because
I mean,
I'm
there are
I mean
cameras
in,
in
like,
certain
instances-
places that
I mean in instances of officer complaints. That's what I meant specifically. If it comes down to gang and stuff, you're just gonna have to send that to one of us or call 911, and we'll of course get on top of that. But I mean in terms of officer complaints, like recording a video. That's what I mean. Not if you're
Yeah,
getting shot at, because I don't want you guys pulling out your phones if you're getting shot at and you're trying to defend yourself, because that's
I mean,
That's
Shadow
more
here
stupid.
could pull his phone out. He's a felon. Therefore, he
Yeah, we
doesn't
need
get to
you.
touch
We
it.
need you guys to record this stuff because we're not gonna, look at body cam footage if we're not suspecting anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't do
Yeah, we
anything
get
if
you.
you're not told.
Yeah.
You know, trust me, we do get it. You know, like we said, it's humanizing and creating a unified front because at the end of the day, if we're under attack, by tandem, you guys are under attack. You know, you guys create that defensive shield around us, which means you guys are often, you know, if we get hit, you guys tend to be next.
Okay. Yeah. Let's be honest then.
You know, we're mechanics, musicians. We're just kind of weird. You know, like, we are everyday people who relate to one another on some level, whether that be some really random trauma that we all shared, to loving somebody who compare yellow and blue and think it looks okay. Like, it is something that everybody has to do. It's one of those things that the more we all relate to one another, the stronger the builds the stronger we feel and the safer we feel. You know, we would have loved to have this conversation with no guns and no armored guard at the door. But after the past few days we've had, you know, our boss is still in hospital. You know, she just had a heart surgery because that's where they decided she needed to get shot.
I understand.
You know, we'll definitely keep you updated on the fundraiser thing. You know, we are passionate about supporting those that are affected by these kinds of things.
Yeah, I've been messaging Penelope. I think he's organising it.
Yeah.
Looking up the fund.
She's the one that just kind of... She got shot. Almost through the heart. We still don't know who's to blame. We think it was the weird people in
Violent swords, those ones.
the idiots that like to play with swords.
At the end of the day, we want to stop getting attacked, and we want to work with you if you guys will work with us, because it's a lot easier for us than if we're going against each other. We don't have a problem with you guys doing your job, but we need to have trust between us. And don't get me wrong, you're never going to trust us completely because you're cops and you have a job to do, but
I
we
mean,
need
at
to
the
be
end
able
of
to
the
work
day-
both ways with each other.
You know, there is always going to be that little hindrance of trust and not trust. That's life.
Yeah, and I wish everyone could want to work with us the way that you do.
You know, you can drop your defenses only so far before it just becomes inevitable that something bad is going to happen.
We're willing to work with you. Like I know you're being, targeted, and we're gonna do everything we can to prevent, lives getting taken and people getting hurt. but that requires us to be in your area. You know, that requires more presence from us. We're going to be up and about you. We're going to be up and about other gangs' neighborhood to make sure there's no activity going on, and
You
it
know,
might be a little uncomfortable.
I
But
think the big thing for us is knowing who it is. You know, if you know them, if you have a good rapport with them, suddenly they're way less of a threat. You know, we're not doing anything bad, so you guys aren't a threat. But also, we've seen officers willing to use and abuse their power, you know? Somebody says one thing and suddenly some dude's out of his car flailing his pistol around telling us all to fuck off. Like, you just kind of go, oh, okay.
We don't have a problem with doing your job, and we get that you have to be where you are. That's not what we're disagreeing with, but it's
No,
when
I
we're getting
understand.
3 and 4 units in the space of like 1 or 2 blocks, just because we're there, it's a bit ridiculous. I get maybe having a unit to watch over, but that many is just ridiculous
I
when
understand
they could be
completely.
elsewhere. Like I said, do your
Understand.
jobs, fine by us. We're
It's
not gonna
a-
cause you shit.
Excuse me, I burped there. Excuse me. I understand it's a misuse of and misplacement of resources, and just rest assured, okay? Uh, I will handle that to the best of my ability, and I will definitely handle the treatment in which you guys have been receiving, because it does not go with our operating procedures nor our belief as a department. It's utterly abysmal.
You know,
And we appreciate the fact that you take that seriously and that you are listening. We
like we
appreciate the
said,
fact that you're here.
yeah, this is a monumental step forwards for all of us. You know, for some people that may never have been in a room before to now be having a conversation about doing these things together. You know, fundraisers and events that mean we get to know who you all are and you get to know who all of us are. You know, the more personal connection you have with somebody, the less likely you are to act out. You know, the more trust you have in somebody, the more you know somebody. At the end of the day, the more I know you, in the weirdest possible way, the less likely I am to shoot you, kind of thing, you know? And the more you know me, the less likely you are to shoot me, because you just go, oh, you know, I know that, you know, oh, look, it's Morgan. You know, sure, he's a bit quirky, but
course.
he's not a threat. And, you know, we go, okay, that's Sergeant Mustachio, because I've actually forgotten your name, and I know that's really bad, but you've got a mustache, so I'm going to go with it. But look, you know, it's the Staff Sergeant. I'm not, you know, I don't feel threatened by him.
Mm-hmm.
Got his name.
I'll work with them, most definitely. I'll try to inform them to ease up. All I ask is just remember that some of our officers are, of course, paranoid, and either way, they shouldn't be treating you like this, but try to, of course, be as, of course, calm and understanding with them as well. Of course.
There's cooperation to a point.
Mm,
But obviously,
course,
you
of
guys get
course.
angry, we get angry. You know,
you know.
you'll rarely see us alone, which is
Here,
a scary thing, and the advantage of we never tend to let each other do stupid shit.
of course. In this situation, I ask, even if one of the officers in the future does lash out or any way, try to keep your cool as much as possible, because that'll only help you in the end, you know? That'll only help your case if you don't do anything and they keep acting the way they're acting.
Yeah, we get you. We'll have a talk with our guys.
You know,
Make
for
sure
some
they
of
keep
our
their cool.
guys,
My radio's going off.
you know, for some of our guys, it's a major change. You know, the 4 of us in here are definitely older, but you know, we take care of some young people who only have bad experiences, who remember the gang wars. You know, the early days gang wars, and now are starting to relive it. You know, their initial interactions define how you see things. Because at the end of the day, you know, there could be 10 good guys, but if there's even one bad guy, suddenly your perception of everything changes. You know, we will definitely talk to our guys and make sure everybody's calmer and more controlled. But you know, if an incident's going to happen, it's going to happen whether or not we've said, "Hey, don't do it." You know.
Of course, of course.
We hope and we pray and we beg that nothing ever happens, but you know, it could take the tiniest thing for one person to snap.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other, like, outstanding things that are on your mind that you want to talk to me about, at least, as a staff sergeant of the LSPD, or anything else that's, like, on your mind as of right now?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I think we kind of aired everything. You guys have discussed the things you needed to discuss. We're all fairly content, unless anybody has anything.
No, I got nothing.
No, I'm happy we had this meeting and happy we could work something out.
No, I mean, other than that, we greatly appreciate the time and the effort it took to come down here and have these conversations. And I know it sounds strange, but I hope to have more, but also hope to have none.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, yeah.
It's kind of
Alright.
like being treated by a paramedic. You never want to see him again, but also you kind of want to see him again.
Of course, if necessary.
But no,
Alright,
I mean,
well.
if you would like another drink on the way out or anything, should be happy
I
to
still
provide.
have my water.
Yeah, I'm all good. But yeah. Thanks for inviting us around and having this talk. Really helpful.
And thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course. You have my number, so anytime, right?
Anytime.
Alright, man. Well, best be going.
Ours was way cooler than that.
Oh, yeah, man, we're cool.
The open space is terrifying.
Alright. Well, better be going.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Alright, see you later.
Keep yourself safe.
Appreciate it.
They're on the way
No
out now.
problem. Alright.
Thank you for
You
the
guys take
follow.
care.
Welcome to
Alright.
the stream. Yeah, you too.
As likewise, of course, I wish not to see you, but then again, if I do, you know,
There are worse things.
hopefully it's in a better, you know, circumstance
Yeah.
than, of course, this serious conversation. Alright, take care.
Keep yourself safe.
You too. Thank you for the water.
That's alright.
Oh, I'm stuck. Oh,
Stuck on the chair.
oh.
Need a
Just
hand?
jump, you'll be fine.
There we go.
Watch out for the bin.
Just well, yeah, watch out for Bindini.
Okay, he
Oh,
survived. He survived. Right, how do we think that went?
Not bad.
Smoother than I thought it was gonna go.
Yeah.
I think it's just nice when they admit their wrongs. You know, it makes
Mm.
all the difference when somebody goes, "Yeah, you're not crazy." You know, there are some people that are being total cunts. Like, it is a perception changer, definitely.
I'm gonna go grab the others.
Leaving now.
I love how nervous they
I
both
made
get.
sure the boys outside had some water as well.
Thank you, T. Just bill us. Don't bill me though. Bill the gang.
You could just bill me. I'll sort it.
Just
I've
bill the-
already put the money in the till for the waters. Chill, don't worry, it's
Okay.
done.
Oh, sweet. Is that because you owed me for the like ridiculously expensive gummy bears you brought from the pharmacy?
Till I grab the premium bag.
You could have brought the tiniest bag, and I'm still sure I would have paid like $5. Right, who needs a lift where? Is everybody going back to territory?
I
am.
Probably.
I am.
Yes, I would like to go back to bed and recover.
Wait. Well, let's go mount up. Gun counter.
Yeah, didn't you aren't there two behind me? Me being all
Ah.
observant.
It's your job. Not really an achievement. It's oh sorry. Oh sorry.
Yeah, thanks for that one.
Sorry. Sorry. What the fuck is going on? Fucking Bindini.
You want me to drive cheese?
Yeah,
I
lock
just
the
said
car.
fucking Bidini!
That's exactly what you heard.
You need me?
Yes, I got stuck on Bindini.
Can you unlock the car?
Yes, what have you done? Well, I mean, that was successful, I think.
Yeah.
You said you weren't going to talk much, and then you were the second most active talker.
Yeah. Well, those are things that need to be said.
It's nice to watch you get passionate about things. It's nice to know we're not alone, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
I did have to bring up the shoes and the hair thing, but it was more of an icebreaker. I don't know, it looks so good. It is the right colour tone, and I hate you because I tried it and it didn't work.
You just can't quite do the things I can.
Wow. That felt almost targeted. Oh, that's red.
No, we're being targeted. It's not targeted.
Ah, yes, my bad, my bad. Grave misunderstanding.
Literally just spent like half an hour talking to cops about it. Thought you'd know by now.
It was more like 45 minutes. Oh, it's closer to 40.
Same difference.
No, the difference is, I was expecting like a 2-minute conversation when we first sat down, and then we just kept going and kept going and kept going, and it was everything. Oh, fuck this. It was everything I wanted it to be. So much more.
You're going right. No, we're not.
I thought I'd go right the next one.
Okay. But this one doesn't. Okay.
I'm What?
Don't worry about it.
I'm confused. Where do you want me to go?
Don't worry about it.
Once
Why
we drop
are you
everybody
taking
off,
this
you
turn?
have to drive the other car back.
Huh?
Are you happy to convoy back with me in the other car in a bit?
Yeah,
Both
that's
of them have
fine.
to go back to the garage, where obviously yours is. But we have to drop the rest of these fuckers off first. Sorry, the fuckos I love very, very much.
Yeah, thanks.
So what is your felony, you idiot?
Third degree assault on a special victim.
Did you hit a cop?
I hit a 17-year-old.
Oh!
Fuck.
So, I used to work at a bar, and there was this kid who fell through the roof, and they kept running around the fucking bar, like kept
So
going
you
up the
hit him?
stairs, kept trying to rob the fucking joint. So I hit him after he pushed me down the stairs, and I got a felony for it.
Sounds like a county thing to do.
Yeah.
This one I want, right? Or is it the next town? There isn't a next town. What? Who am I? Where are we? What's going on?
Well, if you stand here, there's no traffic lights, I don't think. There is a traffic light, I can see it.
Oh, bit fucking late.
Yeah, but it's a right, you can turn right on it, it's fine.
We went
That's
left.
all left.
Hey, as in you can turn right on the light.
No, I need to turn right before the light. Otherwise, we'll have gone too far.
Just fucking drive.
What?
Drive!
Oh, I think I just shit myself. Fuck you now.
Nobody sit in that seat.
That's a good job I'm driving. You're a goofy goober, yeah. Goofy goober. Welcome home, kids.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just
Give
get
us
taken
one.
the fuck out.
I just wanted to give him doors, you know, door delivery. Yeah, if you want to go take over from T.
You guys
Jesus
go.
Christ.
I'll take the other car back. If you don't want to come back to the mechanic shop.
Nah, I'm gonna
I'm doing good. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you
take my
doing?
pain meds and get my head down.
Sounds good. We'll give you a shout if you need anything else, but we should be good for the time being. Appreciate yours help. I know probably wasn't the most fun for you, but appreciate it.
Good practice.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey, it was fun for me. I got to wear my New Year's outfit again.
Yeah.
You also
No worries.
had a staff sergeant staring at you for like a solid 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might have found
Can't-
yourself a new man's. Hey man, great way to get information.
Lord. Right. We're gonna head out. Keep yourself safe, guys, okay?
Yep.
Adios.
Don't be getting shot. Adios.
Try not.
Well, every time you try not to, you do get shot, so maybe try and get
You
shot.
walk in front of me, I'll run you
Might
over.
take
You walk in front of me, I'll run you over. You walk in front of me, I'll run you over.
It's a lot of running over you did there.
Should have run him over. That was great to see in my rearview mirror.
Great to see.
Didn't touch me.
No, you touched it. With quite some
Neither of us
force.
touched.
It was yellow. Oh, no. Driving intensifies. Oh, grabbed it. No copperino, no stopperino. No copperino, no stopperino. Well, there was no cop there, so I'm not going to stop. All there, so I'm not going to stop. Oh, it's free. Oh, my game did not like that. What the fuck is that?
You wanna move yourself?
Who the fuck is that?
Not a clue. You good?
Yeah, let's put my gun away.
Right.
Well, that's going to be the end of this today. Thank you all for joining us. Until next time.